All right, we're looking at the take-home quiz
Oh,
number 1. We're going to integrate sine x times 1 plus cosine squared x dx. What I saw a lot of kids thinking was that u might be 1 plus cosine squared x. So let's try to derive that. If I derive that, I get 0 plus. We've got to remember the power rule part of the 2. So that'll come down times the cosine of x to the first power. But then the chain rule part of it is going to throw in the derivative of cosine, which is going to give me another negative sine x. So as we look that over, this would be my u, which would fit just fine right here. But this whole du here would clean this up, but I would be left with an extra 2 cosine x. And I can undo the 2 by putting a 1/2. I can undo the negative by putting a negative. But I cannot undo an entire cosine x. So this is not going to work for us. So we've got to go back and try a different u. Now, we could try u equals cosine x. But is there something else that's even more inside? And this cosine here is more inside. So if we try u being just cosine x, where does that get us? du would be negative sine x dx. Now as we look, if this is my u, I'm going to have 1 plus u squared, which is convenient. And this is du. I just need that negative sign in front. So let's write it as negative integral 1 plus u squared du. That is something that I can integrate. The integral of 1 is u. The integral of u squared is u cubed. Don't forget that negative sign in front and our little plus c. So now I can just put in what u was, and I'm really done. Negative cosine x plus cosine cubed x over 3 plus c. That would be it. Now the challenge would be trying to show how to get from here, deriving, and getting to here. That would be a good chance to practice a derivative. The first part's pretty basic, to integrate negative cosine. So we're done. This is our final answer. This is full credit. But now we're checking how to show that this could be actually derived to get that. Derivative of negative cosine is going to be negative sine, so just sine x. Now our derivative of cosine cubed, we kind of talked about the cosine squared one over here. So our derivative of cosine cubed, and let's just put that, oh, this was a minus sign here too. Let's put that 1/3. 3 comes from the power rule. Cosine squared comes from the power rule. And then our chain rule of the cosine would be another negative sine x. Derivative of c is just 0. So we're very close. Negative 1/3 times 3 times negative 1 becomes really just a plus 1. So your plus cosine squared x times sine x. How can I make this look exactly like what we started with? If I factor out that sine x, I'm left with 1 plus cosine squared x. So therefore I can be sure that I got the right antiderivative.